Hey guys, I'm back in Manila. I just landed a few days ago after the Dubai trip, and it was a fun trip, meeting a lot of our kababayans there. And what's nice now, we're seeing a larger dimension of Filipinos getting hooked on investing. So I'm excited for what's happening in the future as we see not just the middle class getting into it, but we're seeing the broader range of Filipinos coming in. We're seeing students, we're seeing people who have no idea of who had no idea of what the market was, and now they're pretty much in tune and actually excited about what's happening in the market. So this video is just to give you an update on what's happening in the PSEI. I'm gonna make the stocks by request video right after this. So for those who are following the stocks by request videos, there will be one posted just a few hours after this as well. So just to give you an update on what's happening in the market, you have to understand also, no, the PSEI moves basically based on how the basket of the 30 companies would move. And today is a pretty much large day of buying and selling. We had 19 billion worth of value turnover, which is way above the average value turnover that the market would get on a regular basis. It was pretty much pulled up by JG Summit, which had around 4 billion worth of value turnover. Ayala Land, which was also up now at 1.74 with 1.7 value turnover. At AC down 1.59, but it also had a billion. SM almost was around a billion worth of value turnover. You have to remember, the higher the value turnover, the higher the conviction, the larger the participation that we are getting in the market. So in terms of technical analysis, larger volume, larger value turnover places a larger shroud of conviction in technical moves that we have, which is quite consistent to what I mentioned pretty much in the past. For those who've been following the videos, I mentioned that if we don't stay above 8.9, there will be a retracement to 8.5. If 8.5 does not hold, you may expect a downward movement of the index close to around 8,100. And what's interesting to note, no, yesterday the market closed lower yesterday. I repeat, the market closed lower yesterday. As it closed lower lower yesterday, it was at around close to around 8,100, and today nga it hit a low of 8,156. So what does that mean? Because of the downward movement from 8.5, we've touched and hit as close as we can the support as possible. I mentioned in previous videos that we have a support close to 8,100, and for those who attended our Stock Smart sessions, you all know that a support is not just a price but a price range. The closer we are to the support, which is around 8,100, if that would hold, if that would bounce, it would be pretty much a strong bounce. And as you've seen now, no, the support at 8.1, near 8.1, above 8.1, held its own for today, and it did not just help. It did not just hold its position, but it also was with a great conviction of a large value turnover. So now, what can we expect from the PSEI? Aside from large volume though, looking at it from oscillators that we have, from price and volume oscillators, we're still showing, number one, bearish conviction. There isn't really still, no, as of this point in time, evidence that we're seeing a reversal upward again. But what we know is this: the 8,100 level held its ground. So to say that it's actually bouncing already, to say that it's actually reversing, we need more indicators to show that it will actually bounce. Looking at price and momentum oscillators also, it's depicting that the bounce is also pretty much because it's oversold already. Looking at, for those who are using RSI, it's already close to oversold levels. So you have a bearish stock, you have a bearish market, which a lot of the momentum oscillators are still showing you that it's bearish, but it's already showing you that it's oversold. But while this is all happening, money is still coming in, and you had a larger amount of money come in when it was close to the support level. So now, what should you watch out for? I'm pretty much, for those who've been watching our moving average videos now, I would want it to still break out and stay above the 8,250 level. So now it's good that it closed above 8,200. It closed at 8,238. But for this to be a bit convincing, especially from a moving average standpoint, it must go above 8,248 or at least 8,250 to give us a larger sense that this bounce is valid. And if it stays above that 8,250 level, we're pretty much game again to go back to the 8,500 resistance. So now the previous support at 8.5, which this did not hold, will now be the protector of the market, which will prevent it from going higher. So for those who picked up the market, for those who invested at its lows at 8,150 or below 8,200, you may now peg the target price at 8,500, which will now be our I guess our target price as of this point in time for the index. It won't go any higher until it breaks out from 8.5, but this is all contingent of it staying above 8.1, and this is also contingent of it at least going above 8,250. Now, I'd like to address the concerns that is there something bad happening to our economy? Why is it correcting? Why is it down? Again, moves like this don't change the economy. Moves like this pretty much is just a supply and demand move. Movements like this are from people who also want to take profits from the relatively high movement that the market did over the past few months, and it allows people also who were not able to come in. They didn't have a chance to actually buy the market. Now they have a chance to buy it at relatively cheaper levels. You have to understand the economy is amazing. Inflation is high, but as of this point in time, there's nothing to be scared of. This is triggered primarily of high US dollars and also high oil, but as long as there's a lot of purchasing power, I think that pretty much we're still pretty consistent in how the economy will go. We're still experiencing high growth, and as for those who've been following the news, the remittances for the past month surprised a lot of the analysts. But for me, I wasn't actually surprised because I know that I've seen the ground. I've seen how OFWs work hard abroad, but they don't just work hard, they spend hard, but they also send a lot of money at home. So I think that's the upside that we're seeing over the next few years, as long as we have a large demographic base of people who are working abroad, earning a lot and building skills and sending money. Our base is pretty much protected as well. So nothing's wrong with the economy. Of course, inflation is high. It may trigger interest rate movements this year, but that's not something to be concerned about, because it's something that people already were talking about or were factoring in for 2018. So it's not a question whether there will be an interest rate hike. It's a question of when, and it's a question of how many times it will happen. Of course, the BSP will do that to protect inflation from going higher. And to balance it out, also high inflation, but our economy is doing well. As long as there's growth, as long as there's amazing economic activity, that inflation will somehow take a backseat. It's a risk as of this point in time, but it's not something that people should be scared of. So at the end of the day, the Jollibees, the Wilcons, the Shakies, the Pure Golds, the Metro Gaisanos, I believe the SM Prime Holdings will still pretty much do well, as long as we can't change the culture of Filipinos, that they'll just keep on spending. So that's it. Support bounced today. That's how strong supports are. I was gonna make a video sana if it did not hold above 8.1, there could have been a retracement around 7.7 to 7.9, but since 8,100 held its ground, the next thing we need to watch out for is it goes above that moving average to 8,250, goes above 8,250, 8.5 is the next price for us to watch. So that's it for now. I'm excited. Stock Smarts Manila will happen tomorrow and on Sunday. Then after that, I'm going to Boracay for those who are in Boracay. I'll be there for a vacation naman, but if you're there, message me. We'll try to meet Station 1. Then after that, back again to Manila. Then Financial Fitness Forum, Holy Week. Then I'll be in Cebu. Then Korea this April. Then in May, Stock Smart Singapore. Then Icon, our largest investment conference, will be in Samsung Hall. Then in June, we'll be in Melbourne. Then another run of Stock Smarts Manila will be conducted in June. So that's it. That's my life. It's all about stocks, all about sharing and adding content to all of you. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to know more about any topic, I've created a lot of videos in YouTube and in Facebook. If you're new, a lot of content is there already, but if you want to know specific topics, I'll try to create as much as possible, because that's what makes this fun. Trading stocks is fun. You can make money off of it, but what I love about it also is that I get to share my journey to all of you. So that's it for now. From Dubai to Manila, I'm back. So it's nice to see all of you again. Those attending, see you all again. And I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. Stocks by request coming soon.